Have you been yearning for a new Pilotwings game? Then Ultrawings just might have you covered. Today, AK Raming is going to tell you all about it and how the game is on Nintendo Switch. Without further ado, let's jump on into his review.
You are cleared for takeoff.
Nintendo's classic Pilotwings franchise has been lying dormant for several years at this point. That's why the reveal of BitPlanet Games' Ultrawings Flat coming to the Switch made me quite excited. Now, after putting several hours into it, I can say with confidence that this really does fill the void of Pilotwings' absence. But playing it also reminded me why flying games aren't so hot on consoles in the first place. Ultrawings puts you in the cockpit of 4 aircraft that you gradually unlock: the Ultralight, Glidester, Blade 360 Stunt Plane, and G-Racer. Each of these machines have their own unique characteristics. The Ultralight is incredibly slow, which makes climbing and turning feel very heavy and a little bit difficult, while the Glidester is much faster due to its rocket-powered engine. But this engine can only be fired up once at a time, and it's easy to run out of fuel if you're not careful. This is by far my least favorite and least used aircraft out of the bunch. The Blade 360 is the most balanced aircraft, and is also the most agile while also being very speedy. The G-Racer is the final plane to unlock. And while as fast as the Blade 360, if not a little bit faster, it's a bit harder to maneuver and is also the most difficult aircraft to land by far. Its large engine also reduces cockpit visibility, which can be a pain in some activities. Speaking of the activities, there's a variety to choose from as you fly around Ultrawings' open world island archipelago, though basically all of them involve timing and accuracy. Ring Rush has a set of rings that you must fly through, while also focusing on hitting the center of each ring in order to gain the most amount of points. Ring Course is a similar activity, though the rings are laid out in a set path and are a bit smaller. Not only do you have to get every ring, but your landing accuracy also affects your final score in this challenge. And of course, there's also landing challenges, where you need to land as close to the center as possible. The photo activities also focus on accuracy, with the goal of taking pictures of landmarks by using the tablet that's built into each aircraft. Balloon pop challenges place several balloons in an area that you must shoot down with darts before the time runs out. Balloon Course is a combination of balloon pop and ring course, where you have to fly through rings and then shoot balloons that appear afterwards before the time runs out. Finally, there are the race activities, which are exclusive to the G-Racer and have you flying through yet another course of giant rings against other race aircraft with the goal of coming in first place. Playing through these activities are essential to earning money to purchase new planes and airports. While you can earn money by scoring a bronze, silver, or gold medal, the game isn't shy about coaxing you to go for the gold as much as possible, as that offers the largest monetary reward.
Well, okay, you got me. You got the gold. Okay, yeah, I know. You're amazing. I know. I get it.
Each activity can be played with all the aircraft, though the G-Racer is limited to only the ring course and race activities. While I typically hated flying the Ultralight due to its aforementioned low speed, it's actually the perfect fit for the photo and balloon challenges, as that's where Ultrawings' use of the Switch's gyro controls really come into play. Using gyro controls to aim in these activities isn't necessary, but they feel the most natural. With the other aircraft, the dart gun for the balloon activities and tablet for the photo activities are actually mounted on the aircraft themselves rather than being separate, like in the Ultralight, so the gyro controls are fundamentally useless here. Ultrawings Flat is actually a new version of the original Ultrawings, which is a VR title. This conversion adapts the gameplay to be used exclusively with a controller, but you can see that this is still very much a game that's meant for VR. There aren't even any regular menus. As a result, the camera system is a bit hit and miss. It certainly works, but I found the field of view to be limiting, and while holding down the button to activate the gyro camera does make it better, it's clear that this camera system was still designed for VR goggles first and foremost. The actual flying experience is nice despite the camera constraints, and as mentioned, the Blade 360 does this the best in my opinion. Though, as someone that's literally grown up with PC flight simulators while using a joystick, playing a flying game with just a controller feels a bit awkward to me. I would regularly keep restarting the activities here in Ultrawings just because my aim was off. The larger analog sticks of the Pro controller make maneuvering a tad easier than the Joy-Con, but it still feels strange nonetheless. That's because Ultrawings is more of a simulator than an arcade. There is actually an option to switch the gameplay to a more arcadey style, but that actually felt even worse to me due to this control style keeping the plane so straight that turning becomes far more of a chore. If this instead played in a way similar to how the Crew 2 handles arcadey flight controls, it would feel far better, as that's a game that actually feels really good to fly with a controller. There is one notable flaw that really stands out, however. There is a severe glitch when playing around one of the islands, which is called Bossenberg Farm. The glitch is that the music cuts out and then the frame rate begins to gradually drop lower and lower until it basically becomes unplayable. A restart fixes this issue, though it's only a temporary fix. The developers will definitely have to look into this, as it does affect the progression of the game. Despite these issues, however, I still genuinely enjoyed my time with Ultrawings. It has some really relaxing gameplay when you're not being frustrated by the challenging difficulty, a wealth of activities to take part in, and beautiful visuals, all of which make this a competent replacement for Pilotwings.